EDO.
Everybody, finding me with Joshua, the show where I try to hold myself accountable by doing this every day and trying to find the most authentic version of me. What's up? What's up? Wow. Well, today in the gym. I was in the gym today. That stress test yesterday spooked me a little bit, but the doctor doesn't seem worried about it. But it spooked me in the gym today. It was weird because when they were like, "Okay, you got to hop off. Your blood pressure's right where people can be dangerous to get about having a stroke," and I was like, "What?" Because I was just working out. Like I've felt like that in the gym multiple times. And I was like, wait, so do I not know that so that was wanted to be my question for the doctor today. Do I not know, am I pushing myself? Because I've felt like that in the gym. How do I know my blood pressure is I think it was at like 235 over something. And they were like, "Oh, you got to go on the treadmill." Now, I had done the stress test for I don't know how long, like 13 minutes. But my body was telling me I could go more, right? So I got to talk to the doctor. I just talked to his nurse today. And she was like, "He's not worried about it." I'm like, "I'm going to need to talk to him on the phone." I just need to ask him, how do I know if because I've pushed myself harder than that stress where we were in the stress test 13 minutes in. I've pushed myself harder in the gym. Does that mean my blood pressure was at 235 and you know what I mean? I need to know that I can still work out the way I want to work out. It spooked me. So today I was like, let's stretch. Also, guys, I think because I want to maybe start putting out clips of this, I think I need to say this so I do it. I gotta go get new cameras and a new setup for the podcast room so I can make clips that are, because this right here is just, it's not the quality of clip that people are putting out, So I gotta go back to the studio and get some cameras. I like this. I like it being more of a traveling thing. It's gonna be more fun for me doing it like this, but I should be a professional. Shouldn't I? I mean, I should be a professional about it and go sit at the desk and just do this one on occasion. I think, um, you know, this with the. By the way, every time I wear these headphones, that it's still plug into my phone. Somebody calls me Unc or Gramps. Nice headphone, nice earphones or whatever. Gramps or Unc. Good headphones, Unc. Jacob calls me Gramps. They don't call them headphones either. But I don't think Unc or Gramps is a compliment. Um, Probably not. Today I made this video. That was pretty funny. Because there was a news article a couple weeks ago or last week about a woman who pretended to be blind so she could avoid small talk. And I thought it was brilliant. By the way, I'm not sure I had a friend. Okay, I used to do this show on Sirius radio pre, you know, everybody having a TV in their pocket, and pre everybody videoing all their radio shows. It was like, you know what I mean? So you could have a radio show, and nobody was Googling people if you said this person was this person, right? So I would do a segment where I would have my friends create characters and call in as them. And so one of my friends called in as somebody who didn't believe blind people, just didn't believe they were real. And we would have serious conversations. And it it was like people, and then I would have people call in and talk to them. Where my uncle's blind. You think he's just pretending? And my friends would just say things. It was just rage bait. But it was so funny. But there are actually people, it turns out, who don't think blind people are real. Like 99% of them are faking. Crazy. What a commitment to the bit if they are. Your whole life, that's a commitment to the bit. But and I applaud like her, but I was thinking about what my top, if I was going to pretend for a day, what would be like my top four disabilities that I would choose. And I came up with my top four. Deaf, exactly for the reason why she picked blind, but I'm taking it up a level. No small talk. How about no talk at all? Nobody talks to you. Amazing. You can just pretend like you can't hear them, right? Just look the other way. Just be like, and you can even be like, I don't read lips, or you probably couldn't say it, but you could write it down, or you could do the voice. You could do the voice when you say, I don't read lips. So it'd be crazy. But just to have to be in any conversation that you don't want to be in is pretty amazing. Um, Number three is the disability is being like really stupid. They're stupid, but they're pretty stupid. And to be that dumb seems great. I've noticed, as we all have, how there are a lot of stupid people in the world. And to be that dumb, because there's no expectations for you. And you don't know you're dumb, which is amazing. You actually think you're really smart. Just fucking, they just seem so happy. So, number two would be Down syndrome, because, man, I don't know anyone who makes other people happier. Everybody around them seems to be in a good mood, and they seem so joyful. So, honestly, it seems like they're just having they're so happy to see everybody all the time. I see the clips. So Down syndrome would be amazing. And number one, if I was going to pretend, would be Tourette's. I've said this before, but if you give me an hour of where I can pretend to have Tourette's in an airport, you can take 5 years off the end of my life. An hour? Come on. Shit. With just a placard that'd be like, I have Tourette's, I'm so sorry. OMG. But those would be my four. I mean, yeah, I can't think of any other one that I would just for like even like an hour. I might try on stuttering. I would try on stuttering because I think you could have, if you're doing it intentionally to bother people, you can have some fun with it. Like if I was starting a conversation and I said to somebody, and I would pause just long enough for them to start talking, and I would go, right? Just to be a dick. And then they couldn't be a dick to me, right? That I don't think I'd want to do that for more than like one time. That feels like an asshole thing to do one time, but not afterwards. And the other one's just, not having to have conversations, great. Being happy all the time, great. Making other people happy all the time while you're happy all the time, great. And being able to say whatever you want to people for an hour, zero repercussions. Great. None of these would I want to have for more than this specified times. I'm pretty happy with what's going on. All right. I'm in Indianapolis this weekend, and hey, I saw it was going to be low of 31 or 34 or some shit. It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May there. May. Why is it 30? Don't get it. If I remember, I grew up in Massachusetts, so we had a lot of snow and shit, and it was cold. But I remember when I was like 18 and I had to, ice scrape the ice off my dad's windshield. And I was like, nope. Never, not another winter. And I have stuck to that. Well, did I live there in the winter? Maybe I did one upstate New York in the winter. Right after college in my parents' house. But after that, Seattle was the worst, I think, but it never snowed. Maybe it snowed once. It doesn't snow there, really. It snows up in the mountains and shit. Damn it. There's a bug, guys. I'm not going crazy. All right, listen. I got to pack. But I feel like we talked about a lot today. That's it. There's only one of you. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty great. I tell myself that shit all the time. Just remind yourself. It's okay to remind yourself. All right, everybody. I hope you're having a good one. Later.